Hummingbird from Carly Pearce is a country album we should all be talking about. There have been so many great albums released in the last few years, and this is a must listen for me. And no matter what era of country music you love, there's no doubt in my mind you will love this collection of songs. First off, Carly Pearce co-wrote 13 of the 14 songs on this album. It's also her first venture into producing. Shane McAnally and Josh Osborne, they produced it alongside her. And we've recently seen a resurgence of 90s country. There are a lot of artists that are singing, or maybe they're even rapping about 90s country. There's a lot of them trying to recreate the 90s fashion aesthetic, and they're name-dropping their favorite artists in their songs. But Carly Pearce, she has taken everything she grew up learning and loving from 90s and 2000s country, especially all the leading female artists, and Carly blends it into her own sound. That's the key. Be yourself and be unique. And I'm probably drawn to this album so much because it reminds me of the music that I grew up on. What may have been considered a filler song on an album 20 or 30 years ago, that would be considered songwriting gold these days. And after listening to Hummingbird, that's what I realized I'm constantly seeking. Just start to finish albums that are packed with stories, stellar songwriting, and interesting musical arrangements, which you'll find that in this album. For me, albums like Born to Fly by Sarah Evans, Leanne Womack's I Hope You Dance, or Some Things I Know, Alison Krauss's Forget About It, those were all staples in my collection in the late 90s, early 2000s, because they all encompass those traditional country elements, but they had a style that brought something new and unique to country music and to country radio. Really, really love that the musical arrangements on this album, they were treated just as important as the vocals and the songwriting. You have a group of very accomplished musicians on this record. I love the way she incorporated her bluegrass roots into the record. And of course, I will always love a Janae Fleener fiddle solo. That's always an added bonus for me. And another thing I really love is the dash of humor added to some of these songs. The clever play on words from Heels Overhead or Fault Line, they're so well done. Comedic songs have always been a part of country music's history, but these songs on this album, they're not over the top or like something you would roll your eyes at. They're just good. It's great songwriting. Carly's previous album, 29, Written in Stone, it was an album that elevated her career. And I cannot imagine the pressure of following something that was so successful. She scored Grammys, ACM Awards. She took home one of country music's most prestigious honors, Female Vocalist of the Year by the Academy of Country Music and the Country Music Association. So not only do you have the pressure to achieve the same level of commercial and critical success, but you want to write and record songs that showcase your musical growth, and she certainly demonstrates that on Hummingbird with these songs. One of the best things about country music is that we have so many artists who have such a unique musical sound. Now, the downside with success is that there are so many others who want to emulate whatever is trendy or happening at radio, and if that's what really resonates with these artists, if it's true, then I respect that. But what I see with Carly Pearce is that country music is instilled in her, and that's what you're going to get when you listen to one of her records. Record labels and marketing teams, they're in full force to form an image that is going to captivate fans. Then you have social media where it's all about the brand, and it's all about what artists can you team up with, what brands can you team up with to achieve crossover success to appeal to a wider audience. And of course, you can have all of that, but at the end of the day, you have to be true to yourself. And that's what I feel like we get with Carly Pearce. You can feel that from listening to this album. And to be honest, I don't feel a lot of that when I listen to a lot of the mainstream albums these days. Maybe a handful of songs, but this one, start to finish, absolutely love every second of it. This is one that keeps me intrigued all the way through, and it really does go to show that there's an art to making albums. It requires a vision and talent, and Carly Pearce, she nailed it with Hummingbird. And this is really an album that makes me feel like country music is in good hands. And Carly Pearce, she is a flame carrier. She wants to sing about her real life with story songs, with steel guitar, dobro, and fiddle sounds. And she wants to step into the circle at the Grand Ole Opry. Not because it's a great opportunity, but because she knows the importance of honoring the traditions while carving out her own path. And because of that, she's a prime example of what country music needs. Go check this album out. There are so many highlights from the vulnerable My Place, the harmonies of Still Blue, to the beautiful closing title track. And if you've listened to it, let me know your favorite songs from it. I won't give away everything. Go listen to it and let me know what you think of it. And don't forget, you can catch my syndicated radio show Across the Country with Amanda each and every week, where I keep you updated with the latest country music news. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, and I will talk to you very soon in the next episode.